there is a morale problem. And there's a reason behind that, is that you have a Shiite-dominated Iraqi army that's trying to fight ISIS or Daesh in Sunni territory, and there's the sectarian clash there. So if you are a Shiite soldier or commander with a number of troops, your local population is very hostile to you. And therefore, I think, yes, there is a morale problem, but I think that there's more to it than what the Secretary spoke about.
So when you say there's more to it, I mean, these are complex circumstances we're talking about, but then if you can break it down, what else is there when people are looking at it face value and saying, well, maybe that's right, maybe that is the case?
That is the case, plus much, much more.
Right, so what is the much more?
The much more is that, look, we've seen Iraqi army forces fight in Salahuddin, which is north of Baghdad. Anbar, and where Ramadi is located, is west of Baghdad. So you've got multiple fronts. There's also a disconnect between the Kurds in the north, who have an autonomous region within the Iraqi Republic, and the Shiite-dominated government in Baghdad. They're also not on the same page. There is a lack of Sunni support for the government's efforts. There is the U.S. and Iranian disconnect over what should happen in Iraq. So there are lots of factors that are shaping the ability of Iraqi security forces to go on the offensive. So you got to work on the political front. Once you have the political principles and the stakeholders on the same page, then the battle will follow from there.
Whose job is that?
That is the job of everybody to a certain degree. The United States has a role, Iran has a role, Turkey has a role, Saudi Arabia has a role, the Kurds, the Sunnis, the Shiites inside Iraq have a role. So this is a multiplayer environment, and all those players have to come together in the form of a machine to really roll back ISIS. You have to have the political framework in place both in Iraq and Syria. Iraq, it's a bit easier. Syria, it's really difficult because the regime itself is under question, the Assad regime.
Yeah.
As for ISIS, I really would urge caution in terms of saying that they're on the march. This is a back and forth. We've seen them take Ramadi, lose Ramadi over the past 1 year twice.
Okay.
So we need to be careful not to exaggerate ISIS's gains. Definitely, you know, it's not in decline, but it's not as if it's going to take over all of a sudden either. ISIS is not that big of a deal if we can take care of the geosectarianism and the geopolitics of this. So, and all battles are driven by geopolitical realities. And if we can get the geopolitics right, then, you know, this should not be a problem. I'm not trying to underestimate it, but I'm also trying to, urge caution that we not think of this as some big monster that's about to take over.